Max Verstappen is currently the main man within F1, having won the Drivers' Championship 3 years in a row, being the only dominant driver in the last 2 years. By that virtue, the Dutchman is one of the most influential drivers on the current grid, likely alongside his 2021 title rival, 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen has always positioned himself as a true racer who loves driving, so much so that he regularly sim races in his free time and dislikes having to do too much media. He enjoys the traditional competitive aspects of F1, but dislikes many of the sport's modern changes. Therefore, when the return of a race in Las Vegas was announced last year, fans predicted that he wouldn't be a big fan of the pageantry that would come with such an expensive, glamorous, and high-profile race. Those predictions turned out to be true, with Verstappen showing his disapproval of the event from the start, even before the on-track action got underway, as he had some harsh words to say about Wednesday's opening ceremony. Today we're going to take a look at his shocking comments. Keep watching to find out his brutal thoughts. The ceremony, which was organised by F1 themselves as they served as the promoter for the $500 million event, featured live performances from some famous names, including Verstappen's fellow Dutchman Tiesto, as well as a highly choreographed drone show. The driver pairings were introduced team by team, with the duos being raised on podiums to be revealed and announced to the crowd. Media stated that it looked as if the drivers were on a slow-motion Jack-in-the-Box. The ceremony was appreciated by many of those in attendance, but feelings about it were mixed from those watching online. Verstappen was critical of the lavish event opener, stating that he felt like it could have been skipped, as he was just standing up there looking like a clown. Whilst he felt that F1 were right to do it, as it was making them money, he said that he would not hide his displeasure, as he always voices his true opinion. Before taking to the track, he stated the event was 99% show, 1% sporting event, and that the track was not interesting, as it had few corners and lacked grip. However, he acknowledged that the scenery would look great, and also said ahead of the weekend that he liked to be in Vegas, but not for racing. He also refused to attend a party hosted by the CEO of F1. Verstappen's comments ahead of the race echoed what many fans felt, with the event seeming more about glitz and glamour than pure racing. His acknowledgement of the Vegas backdrop being stunning was important, as that is one of the key reasons for the race being held and taking place in its late time slot. The weekend then got worse, with a disastrous first day of on-track action. FP1 saw just 8 minutes of green flag action before the session was red flagged due to Carlos Sainz hitting a failed drain cover. Every cover on the circuit had to be altered, with the majority being filled with concrete, causing FP2 to be delayed by 2.5 hours and extended by half an hour. This meant that the session ended at 4 a.m. local time, which was past the finish time of the security staff's shifts, meaning that fans had to be kicked out before the second session began. The session took place in front of empty grandstands after fans who had paid lots of money and waited around for hours were forced to leave. The fans were eventually offered a $200 voucher for merchandise rather than a refund, which Verstappen responded to by saying that if he was a fan, he would tear the whole place down. This comment was fair, as the majority of people felt that those with one-day tickets for practice should have received a full refund. A class action lawsuit has already been filed by a law firm against the organisers on behalf of the fans who were made to leave the track. Friday went ahead far more smoothly, with a qualifying session rounding off the pre-Grand Prix action. Verstappen qualified in third behind both of the Ferraris, but would line up second on the grid as Carlos Sainz received a 10-place grid penalty after being forced to change his power unit due to his FP1 incident. On this penalty, Verstappen stated that it was very harsh, but expected in the political environment of F1. This is even what the FIA believed, as they acknowledged the extreme circumstances, but were unable to change the rules. When asked about how a qualifying lap on the circuit felt compared to the one at Monaco, he stated that Monaco is like the Champions League, whilst Vegas is the National League. He also said that most of the fans at the event were there to party, drink, see a DJ, or a performance act, which they could do all over the world. He had continued to slate the event, which fans appreciated, as it was clear he was being honest. The Grand Prix turned out to be one of the best of the year, with Verstappen winning after coming back from a 5-second penalty with a damaged front wing. He had fought with Charles Leclerc and his teammate Sergio Perez for most of the race, who also provided excitement as they swapped positions on the final lap, with Leclerc coming home ahead of Perez. His team principal Christian Horner stated that Verstappen had changed his mind about Vegas. Verstappen was fair to criticize some elements of the Vegas weekend, particularly the overindulgent opening ceremony and lack of refund for the fans, and by doing so, showed what many fans already knew. He loves racing rather than the glamour surrounding it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications. Leave a comment letting us know what you thought about the Vegas race and if you agree with any of Verstappen's comments.